offense, defense, and special teams. So I don't know if there's much more to say than that for an opening statement. So I'll take your questions.
Go ahead, Ken.
Coach, it seemed like North Texas made adjustments in the second half. They came out strong, getting the 2 touchdowns. The defense seemed to be aggressive. What change did you see during the course of the game from their play?
Well, I don't know that philosophy-wise they were doing anything different. They did a good job blocking us. They just blocked us up and were able to run the ball effectively. And then that's the key to our defensive success, is stopping the run. And we didn't do that today. And I was looking at the stat sheet. They had 50 plays and rushed for 200 yards. That's a lot of yards on 50 plays. So they give credit to them. They did a good job running the football and blocking us. We couldn't get off the blocks when we needed to.
You had turnovers, but early in the game it seemed like the defense was able to make stops for you. What was the impact? Why was it so difficult to on turnovers today?
Well, the first one, we just weren't hanging on to the ball again. We teach the guys to carry the ball a certain way and warn them against ways that are unsafe or make the ball insecure. And I think some of the tendency is when there's contact, there's a feeling that pushing the ball across the front of their body maybe secures it more. And frankly, that makes it much easier for the defense to punch it out of there. And that's what happened on the first one. He wasn't fighting for yards or trying hard. He was just didn't take care of the ball. And when there's contact, we got to get 2 hands on the ball. We should be carrying the ball with 2 hands. And that's our responsibility as coaches to get those guys to do that and understand the importance of that. And far too many times today, we get the ball knocked out while we were carrying it, and that's very uncharacteristic of our team, and that's really disappointing to see. It's very poor fundamentals, and that's my job, the job of our staff, to get our guys to play with good fundamentals. But if you look at the whole game, probably what's going to come down to is the fundamental things that we didn't do well. That was a major part of it. The interceptions, a couple of them at the end, we're trying to throw the ball, just doing everything we can to try to win the game, get ourselves a chance to get back in the game. And I thought Christian made a great effort down there, and the ball just popped up in the air, and the kid caught it and made a nice play. And then the last one, late in the game, but throwing the pick for a touchdown, wasn't. We just didn't get the defensive player who's on the edge of the defense knocked down. We got somebody assigned to him to try to block him below the waist and get his hands down. We just didn't get into him enough, and he kind of had to throw it over his hands. And unfortunately, they ended up with it after it popped up off of Ager's hands, and kid made a nice play.
All right, go ahead, gentleman back.
Coach, what type of those turnovers, what do they do? What did they do for North Texas and their momentum and their confidence?
Just takes the ball away from us, and it's hard to score when you don't have the ball. And so we didn't we got the one turnover and didn't return for a touchdown. That's about the only way you're going to do it if you don't, or if you're going to do it on a kick return or something like that. So we got to have the ball and give the ball back to them. Just it's frustrating, it's agonizing to especially when we're moving the ball and you turn it over. And it wasn't we didn't completely get stopped all the time, but we had some plays where, like the long throw, and couldn't get ourselves in scoring position there and just get it knocked out. And those kill the drive, kill momentum, and give more chances for North Texas. So credit their kids. They did a good job getting the ball away from us.
Do you think it gives them some positive energy and gets them going in the right direction?
Sure does. When we get a turnover, it gives us some positive energy. At least it gives me some.
And does it give you any, can you take any solace in this game when you're in the fourth quarter and you're down 10 despite the turnovers and starting to go go downfield before that fumble by Mendenhall. Can you look at this game positively in a way that you were still in it late in the game?
I thought it positively sucked in every way. We didn't block them and sustain blocks. We didn't get off blocks, we let them run the ball. We looked like Keystone Cops on special teams, snapping the ball over people's heads and just not pleased at all. I find no solace in anything but a victory. No attack on you, just that's who I am.
No, I totally understand. Being a guy coach that stresses on fundamentals so much, is that all that you got to go back to this week in practice? Is focus on the holding the football, 3 points of pressure, and doing that?
There's a great emphasis on fundamentals, and I'm sure every coach will tell you fundamentals are important, no matter the sport. But certainly for us, for our team, if we don't play with great fundamentals, if we don't play our assignment soundly, if we don't put our eyes and our hands and our feet, our pad levels down, if we don't do all those things with great exactness, we're going to get embarrassed. Because if you looked at that offensive line over there, when they came trotting out of the field, they're bigger than anybody we got. I mean, there's nobody in this room looks like those guys. So if you're going to beat guys like that are that big, you got to get off a block and they got their hands on you. You see number 15, and I don't know what the other guy was in there, the nose guard. Those guys are 300 and who knows how many pounds. I don't know anybody like that. If we're going to move them, we got to play with a great pad level, we got to play with great fundamentals, and so that's what we stress more than anything. It's got to be fundamentals. So it wouldn't have mattered if we got beat 100-0 or won 100-0. We'd be back right out there tomorrow working on fundamentals. So that's the only chance we got.
Thanks, Jeff.
Go ahead, Sal.
Coach, offensively, did you want to do more offensively, or were you trying to do different things when they kind of were holding you up a little bit inside?
No, we really just kind of stuck with our base stuff. They were running the free safety across all the way to the other side. He was making some tackles, so we adjusted a couple of plays to account for him, and we got him. And we ran some counters to get him started going one direction. He had a counter back, which slows him down. And I think there were some good things there. And we had some penalties that hurt us too. We had a penalty where we called for blocking below the waist, an illegal block, and whether it was or not, I don't know. But we got called for it, and I haven't seen it. I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see the replay. So, but those hurt. When we get those 15-yard penalties, and it nullifies a gain or a good play, which that one did. And we did some bonehead things. We had a 4th and short and snapped the ball. We didn't have a play called, and we were just trying to see what the defense was going to line up in, and dummy called, and we snapped the ball, and just a lot going on. We jumped off sides when they were stemming. They were stemming from an odd front to an even front to an odd, and jumped off sides one time, put us in poor position, offensively. And defensively too. We did some things. We had an offsides there where we jumped into the neutral zone, and it was 2nd and 9, and they threw the ball out of bounds. It had been 3rd and 9, it says 2nd and 4. And they run the ball for a touchdown, 40-yard run. Just likely if it's 3rd and 9, they're probably throwing the ball there. It gives us, I think, a better chance to get them off the field. Certainly 3rd and 9 and 2nd and 4. But just a lot of things like that I think are very uncharacteristic of our team. It's not been the way we've played all year, and a lot of it had to do just because they were doing a good job against us.
Was Chris Carter available today to play?
He could have played. He hurt his hand in the last game, and wasn't, without divulging too much, wasn't completely ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Coach, the first touchdown seemed so seamless. At that point, did you feel like it was going to be your day, or did you have a sense that things were kind of up in the air?
I think every day is going to be our day, but it's some of it has to do with the other team too. They're putting up a good fight, and we had to drive it down. We had to work for that first drive, and I knew we were going to have to work for them. And just nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. It's not. There's not too many games here. I can't think of any where I just felt like, oh, this is easy, and we're going to work for every one of them. So I've been a part of victories where I felt like, hey, it was going to be easy, but I haven't here. Not yet. I hope it'll get like that, but we're still a work in progress. We're a team that's got to improve and get a lot better at the things we do, get better at the fundamentals, better coaching, better performing, and I think we're chipping away at it. But today wasn't a very good representation of what I think we're capable of.
Coach, just want to ask, is Ken Brinson okay? Any report you can offer?
He was ready to go back in the game 2 plays after he came out. He just turned his ankle, twisted his ankle. They evaluated him, and he ran down. Was ready to go in just before they scored that touchdown from the one. So I think he's okay.
Coach, just ask, was this really one of the better defenses that you played this year? They seemed like they made a lot of adjustments the second half to fill in the gaps.
There weren't a lot of adjustments. It was just a lot of the same. Us not doing a very good job blocking them, and we had the ball pitched several times out there in the perimeter, and we gotta go knock people to the ground and score on those pitch plays. It can't always be a 7 or 8 yard gain or a 13-yard gain. We gotta hit some 53-yarders for touchdowns, and it's just a matter of finishing those blocks off. And like I said, the backside safety was getting involved more so in the second half than he was the first, being very aggressive running across the formation. But we did some things to counter that. And we did some things. We made an adjustment with one of our option plays where we got somebody to account for him, and just based on the way they were playing and lining up, we could do that. But I don't know that they played any differently the last snap than they did the first in terms of adjustments. Just you got to be able to block them, sustain blocks, and they did a good job getting off of them.
All right, thanks,